Hey, what's going on? This is Colin with Ghost Trend. Just going to give you all an overview of the ghost zones. These are basically, it's like a key levels tool. It's going to be probably the best one out there. These levels are marked based off the time frame that you choose. Sorry, I have a bunch on here for demonstration. So this is how it's going to come originally. You have daily zones, hourly, 4 hour, tick zones. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Main is the daily. That's for like kind of intraday or scalping in a sense. You have weekly, monthly. Monthlies are very important. They have a lot of potential, especially if you see a daily and a monthly lining up together. I'll show an example of that in a little bit. And then you have hourly. I use hourly for scalping if you want to, like the second charts, or if you have tick charts, it's even better. But that's pretty much how I do it. You have the ghost clouds. It's just basically the little cloud part around it. So the zone width, that's just how wide away from the actual lines it is, just to kind of give you some better visualization. Instead of just one straight line, you have like an area that price can kind of reverse from or go through. And you can adjust that depending on the instrument that you're using. Like bonds is going to look completely different because they don't have as many ticks. You can adjust the colors of them if you want. So here's an important one. I have a lot of questions with this one. So you have the orbs. So this right here is one of my favorite strategies. This is going to be the basically 1 minute orb. And so right here we have to go to 1 minute. Start time's going to be start of day. Whatever that is for you, make sure it's at 1700 or whatever start of the session is. So like I said, for me, Central Standard Time, it's 1700, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. If you're in the Eastern board, it's depending on where you are. If you're on the other side of the world, whatever the daily open is for your time zone, put that on there. It should line up with the white line on the ghost zones. So when you put that on, this is what it looks like. You have these orange lines. This is the first minute of the day. As you can tell, price likes to react off of it. They don't teach you this, but this is probably one of the most important things you can learn. As you can see right here, that white line's the daily open. You see how price just bounces off those lines. And so play around with that. They make really good, basically, targets when price gets to them. Bounces off, as you can see right in here. Really respects that level. You can get some really good trade set up, especially at night. So like right here, boom, you have the trade up. And then, of course, if you look at the zone, zoom in real close, watch how price really touches that level. It just bounces off of it, right? So you can see all these wicks. And it might go up and down, but I'm just saying it shows you price just really likes to bounce off of it. See, like right here. So see, price is bouncing just all over it. And that's how all these zones are. You'll see price react off these areas pretty strongly as it bounced up. Right here, a wick down. Could have caught like 40 points off that. This is where I like to dial in on the lower time frame sometimes and catch those moves. So that's kind of how the orb is. There's also a built-in ability to add your own custom orbs. So like the main is like the New York Open for whatever that is. Like NQ is 8:30. You could do EU would still be about 8:30. New York Open pretty much is what that is. Depending on your time zone, look that up yourself too. I'll probably post something in Discord to give you all the good settings. Of course, you do Asian, London if you want. I always just do that, and then initial balance, which is the first hour of the trading day of New York Open. So as you tell, it gives you pretty good levels to trade off of. You know, if you like orb breakouts. So, like I said, this tool is so good because it gives you so many different strategies that you can use. So you have the orb breakout down there, beginning of the day. It can be done with your day. Same here. And these are 1 minute orbs. I'm telling you, the 1 minute orb is way better than the 15. So right here, you have the 1 minute orb breakout all the way down. So, you know, every zone it passed, you could have just put a stop loss above, stop loss here, you got stopped out. So that's kind of pretty self-explanatory with the orb levels. Play around with them yourself, see which ones you like. You can draw lines if you want to mark out like previous day orbs, like right here was pretty handy. This right here was previous day orb, and it happened to line up with the zone 2 on here. So pretty interesting. What else am I missing? So yeah, like I said, that was pretty much it on the orbs. So keep watching. I got more stuff. So let's go ahead and check all these off. Check all that. So let's go back to the zones, right? So I'm still playing around with some better settings, but here what I have for the monthly zones. As you can see, had some decent moves today, came down right to that monthly zone, tapped it, and shot straight up. Crossed over, tapped it. Right here, if you see these type of candles through a zone, that's bullish for the most part. Like if it goes up and doesn't close below, that you can expect a bull run. So right here, push through up, you bought that tap right to and don't tell me these lines. I mean, why would price do that? Not knowing. I'm telling you, there's something to the lines. Just gotta look at it. And so these are your monthly lines, as you can see. Touched it up there, just top ticked all those right here, as you can see. Broke through, came down, almost touched it, but you could have gotten into a trade. Like I said, if you lose this one, if you tried to short that, it happens. But like I said, I'm about to show you some other ways you can use as well. And so let's see here. We'll turn off those. So here's some more daily levels. I'm kind of messing around settings with. You can see price bouncing around these levels. Seems to work pretty good overall. Another strategy I do is I like to go down to the 5-second time frame. I know probably lost half of you by now, but bear with me. Actually, before I do that, let me show you another way. So like I said, the zones themselves are pretty good. Another way that you can extra confirm is by adding a RSI. Oh, I already had it on. So let me just get rid of that one. So with this RSI, second. So this RSI, you can look for areas that are oversold or overbought, like when you're at some of these zones. Like for instance here, you had this move down, you had a bearish divergence. And actually, I want to say this was actually on a, can't remember. So I was playing around with some more settings. You could like do 0.8, 0.9, etc. And see which ones that look pretty good. So that's 0.7, 0.9. You could do one per basically box like this. 0.8. And so like right here, you have price come down. You have a bullish divergence right here. Price is making a lower low, but the RSI is making a higher low. And then you have price go up. Those are just some ways that you can trade those. But as you can see, the zones just work pretty good. Like, so there's a lot of things you can do with it. Trade the orbs, trade the zones. Another way is going down to lower time frames. And I like to do this at night. Typically at night more than I do during the day. Let's get rid of some of these zones. So we'll reset settings. And I like to go down to the hour time frame. There we go. So as you can see right here, you could wait and just wait for a break. Like if it touches and then breaks down, you just break that candle and you can scalp it, right? Same here. Goes up. You could have scalped right there a little bit, or maybe take the loss and then you saw it break through and you go back up. Price just kind of bounces around these zones with fair bit of accuracy. I mean, not all the time, but this is kind of how some people do it at night. Let me get rid of this. This is creating that to look too. And like I said, that white line is very important. You can pretty much get good scalps every hour off of it. So from there to there, 20. That's a 10-point move. Down here, RSI is being oversold. So you buy it up for another 10 points. Over here, you could have sold that if you wanted to, maybe break even. This one right here comes back down. And you're only risking like 3 points at a time. You can hold that. So there's a bunch of different ways you could trade it. If you want to scalp it, or if you want to swing trade it, do just the monthly in like 5 minutes. That works too. I like to sometimes even do the 1 minute or 1 second. Watch change of structure. So like right here, touches that zone. You could even do you could change the strength a little bit. I want to say, I can't remember what strength it was that I was using the other day for it. Maybe this was it, because I think it's for more volatile. So you could change the strength, and seems to work pretty good. help with some of the fake outs, as a little bit. But even then, this is 1 second chart. You're just kind of scalping. Comes in here, and then you're scalping. You could throw stochastics on RSI. Might help you catch some moves. But all right, like I said, if you have any more questions about this indicator and stuff, links in the bio. And then obviously we have our Discord, and then comment on the video. Thanks.